Order the August meeting of the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission. First item on the agenda is to review the minutes from the regular meeting and special meeting held last month.
Move to approve the regular meeting July 24th and the special meeting held August 13th.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held July 24, 2018, and special meeting held August 13, 2018. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Next on the agenda is to receive the report regarding utility operations for August.
Well, what you have before you is the employee of the month is Derek Nelson, Energy Services Representative. He's been employed by the Public Utilities since March of 2004. Took over his new job in 2017, and he's doing a very good job in understanding what his duties are and picking up from when the previous employee had left off. And he's looking to modify and change programs. And he's very enthusiastic, and he should be noted as the Employee of the Month.
He looks enthusiastic.
Yeah, he looks enthusiastic. And you have the report on all the different department activities. As usual, you can see there's just been a lot of things going on this summer and major projects. I don't know if, Dan, if you have any major project that you want to just highlight.
Nothing comes to mind right now. We did just get back that our acid leak was fine with what we cleaned up by the EPA, but that'll be in next month's report. That just came last week.
Okay, great.
I'll offer the motion to receive and order filed the report regarding utility operations during the month of August 2018.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Okay, we'll recognize Derek Nelson as the Employee of the Month. Thank you, Derek. On the motion and second to receive and order filed the report regarding utility operations during the month of August 2018. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is to receive a report from Dave O'Brien regarding gas distribution system analysis.
Good afternoon, everyone, Commissioners, President Heine. I'm Dave O'Brien, the Gas Department Supervisor. We hired LSC Lake Superior Consulting in 2017 to look at the gas distribution system, and the lead engineer was Les Matafee. He organized it. We used GasWorks software because the public utilities already own that software. When the project was done, they turned it over to us. Little background, Northern Border Pipeline supplies us with our natural gas, which starts in Canada and several distribution points across the United States. You can see here the Hutchinson Pipeline connects at Trimont, Minnesota. And if you look at the New Ulm site, I'll try to get over there. You can also see right here is the Northern Natural Gas Pipeline, which feeds in from the south side of New Ulm. And that is a temporary hookup. We keep it open just in case we have problems with our system. That pipeline is at capacity in the winter months. So we could keep on for a little while, but probably not a long time depending on the weather. So it's just a short-term backup. This is out by Kraft. Our main connection is the Hutchinson Interconnect. It's about 1.5 miles out on the KC Road. The pressure comes in at anywhere from 800 to 900 psi on the main pipeline. We cut it back to 250 pounds. We add mercaptan to the odorant. As it runs through the transmission lines, there's no odor to natural gas, and we need to have the gas readily detectable at 1%. So that's where we reduce the pressure and add the odorant. From there, we ran the pipeline along the Minnesota River. You can see vaguely that there's a proposed route and an actual construction map there. From the KC Road, it runs along the Minnesota River up to Center Street. In New Ulm, we have 77 miles of steel main, 30 miles of polyethylene or plastic pipe main. 1,400 steel services, 4,300 plastic services. And last year, we provided over 1 trillion cubic feet of gas to our customers in New Ulm. The first point is at the Center Street Station. That's where the 250-pound line comes in. Here it's regulated down to 80 pounds. And this is where LSC is concerned that this is the only station in town that cuts it from 250 down to 80. They're concerned that right now it's at a flow capacity of about, check my notes here. Okay,
At
it's
the
at
545?
I was going to go to MCF, but I think it's at 12,000 MCF per day, 13,000 MCF per day, and we ran 10 last January. So we're getting close. So they're recommending another one somewhere along Front Street, along our 6-inch steel main, so that we can supply enough gas to the power plant if this one ever would have trouble. So from there, the 80-pound line loops around town and serves all of our regulating stations, which knocks it down to 5 pounds. That's our residential distribution pressure. What I asked them to do then was take our system and put a heavy load on it and take out each regulating station so we can see which areas of town these stations affect. The Westridge Road area is one that we knew it developed fast. It has some big customers out there. They're recommending another station up in that area. And when we run our high-pressure gas line out to the new armory, we'll add another regulating station out in that area. The Jefferson Street Station, which is out by Washington School. I just thought it was interesting that if you see the whole center of our town is reliant on all of these outside stations. We don't have anything centrally located, so everything is affected. Minnesota Street Station, when that's shut down, it carries all the way through to the south end of town. But this is under extreme load. It's not something that we're concerned with. It's just so you can see the areas. Garden Street Station also. First North and Valley is the old gas plant. And Valley Street Station down on 5th South and Valley. It's a Center Street Station up on the hill. As you can see, that takes care of most of the hilltop area. And that's another area that's developing rather quickly, so something in that area might be along the line along 5th North. Franklin Street Station, same thing. Cottonwood Street Station, there the pressure's reduced to 20 PSI. I've got some pictures later, but that serves all of Cottonwood Street and the Dakota Edition. That's the only 20-pound stretch in our system. Everything else is 80 and 5. And the Bridge Street Station out by Kraft, right next to the Northern Natural Border Station. Okay, so the recommendations, excuse me, was to install another regulating station for the 250-pound cut north on North Front Street. And the reason for that location was to get a large enough line to supply the power plant. They also recommended installing a SCADA system so that we can watch the pressures at all of our stations. And that would also connect into the Hutch interconnect so that we could get better readings from there also. It's just an example of some steel. On the left is a steel high-pressure main, and on the right is a low-pressure plastic main. And that's about how deep they are in the ground. Gives you a little idea of what we're working with. The little circle on this end is where we actually cut the pipe open while it's still live, stoppered off, and put that valve in after that, and we removed a valve later that was down in the street on 20th South. That's the coupon that came out of that pipe. It was installed in 1939, and it still looks like new. So the system is in really good shape. There's our creative piping along the Cottonwood Street River. If you look in the lower left, that's our main sticking out. The branches caught it, tore it off. We had a call that they were smelling gas, so we went out and it was bubbling out of the river. So we dug up on each side, strung the pipe through the trees, and got our customers back on. An example of our, that's a high-density plastic main on the left, and that dozer got a little too close when he was backing up. He swung into it. Luckily, it was by Jefferson School, and there's a valve on that line alone, so we were able to turn that line off. And we couldn't get this video to work, but last March we had a call that they were smelling gas in the alley. And if you look here, you can see the bubble. And it was bubbling all the way along there. It hadn't migrated up towards the houses of the garage, but it was better as a video. So, that's all I have. If you have any questions.
Well, the first one that pops into my mind is, why does Cottonwood have 20 when the rest of the city has 5?
Because there's no way to loop that system. So that way we had a high enough pressure going in. There are some different regulations with that high pressure as far as excess flow valves. But now when that carries out and continues to expand out in that area, 20 pounds, most of the houses run at 2 pounds of pressure, so that gives you an 18-pound pressure differential. It'll just give us a longer span. When we cross, the other thing, future expansion. Out on 27, we have a 5-pound, 4-inch line now running out to the affordable housing area. When we do 5th North Street, we'll add another 80-pound line and run out that highway along with it. And on County Road 29, we already have the 80-pound and the 5-pound line stubbed in. When we get to County Road 13 and Highway 15, there we'll have to bore the river or do a bridge crossing. And that'll have to be decided by engineers and cost, because when you go under the rivers, as we found out, you need to bore down into the bedrock. Just doesn't work otherwise, so it gets quite expensive doing that. But it's mainly just for expansion that it'll be a long time before we loop that area. So with a single feed, we needed a higher pressure. Anything else?
Do we need to do something with the Cottonwood Bridge crossing?
No, now that that happened, we bored down into the bedrock.
Okay,
It's taken care of.
okay.
Yep. If it's 23 feet deep now, so it's not going anywhere. No one's going to hit it.
Yeah.
So that's all I have.
I'll offer the motion to receive the presentation and final report from Lake Superior Consulting on the gas distribution system analysis by the gas supervisor.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to receive the presentation and final report from Lake Superior Consulting on the gas distribution system analysis, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next, we have a presentation by Derek Nelson.
Good evening, Commissioners, President Heine, Derek Nelson, Energy Services Representative. I'm here this evening to talk to you about Public Power Week. Anyone that's not familiar with Public Power Week, it was created by the American Public Power Association in 1986 to encourage communities to celebrate the benefits that public power can provide, such as local ownership, not-for-profit services, and of course, citizen direction through public utilities commissions like yourself. Over 2,000 public utilities will be celebrating Public Power Week across the nation during the week of October 8th through 12th, 2018 of this year, by doing many things such as hosting facility tours, holding open houses, and sponsoring events. So we encourage customers to join the New Ulm Public Utilities this year during the week of the 8th through the 12th to celebrate Public Power Week. This year, New Ulm Public Utilities will be celebrating Public Power Week by hosting a customer appreciation event at German Park on Thursday, October 11th. The event will begin around 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. and last roughly 2 to 2.5 hours. Hot dogs, chips, soda, cookies, and popcorn will be available for customers during this time. Families will also be able to enjoy newly installed playground at German Park. Additionally, I am planning on having displays informing customers how local public utilities like New Ulm are called upon in mutual aid efforts. Lastly, we are planning on hiring the band No Tent to play at our event. The cost of the band is $2,500 and will be taken out of the open house funds, which is used yearly for the Public Power Week. Open house funds are actually always used lately for the Public Power Week. I would assume open house before the public utilities began celebrating Public Power Week, they held open houses, which is why the fund is called Open House. So for Public Power Week this year, we have $5,000 budgeted. So I would just ask to see if I get your approval to spend the $2,500 on a band for this event. It's about obviously half of the $5,000 budget, but as the other amenities that I'm going to be providing, I'm still will not exceed the $5,000.
What kind of music does No Tent
They
play?
are a bluegrass band out of Minneapolis.
Okay.
Just so you still have enough money for cookies.
Oh, yes. I budget everything out. I did not provide that. Maybe I should have. Yes. I roughly have $900 and some left. And that was before I went back and repriced some products with another individual. And I think I have cut about $300 off. So probably about $1,200 left.
Yeah, I would suggest that, that the motion just say approve the expenditure of up to $5,000 for Public Power Week. The reason the $2,500 there is because that's an actual contract. And we wanted to make sure that we had approval from the PUC to sign that contract. But truthfully, we really are coming back and saying, we want to spend the money for the hot dogs and the cookies and everything else too.
Mhm.
So I would just say for a maximum of $5,000 for this expenditure.
Does it need to include that it will be, there will be a contract for entertainment, or just?
It's not going to hurt.
$5,000 will
It's
be
not
fine.
going to hurt if you do include it. Then that's a direct authorization for me to enter into that contract.
All right. I'll make the motion to receive and file a report regarding Public Power Week and associated events and approve the contract fee of $2,500 for entertainment and an overall budget of $5,000 for the event.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to receive and file the report regarding Public Power Week and associated events and approve the fee of $2,500 for entertainment as part of an overall budget of $5,000. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Under new business, we need to consider a leachate storage and disposal agreement.
And Mr. O'Connor is here this evening to explain what this issue sheet is all about.
Good evening, Commissioners. President Heine, Dan O'Connor, wastewater. The county came and asked if we could treat their leachate water at our wastewater plant back in April. They've been working with the MPCA. They expanded the landfill, adding another cell for solid waste, which took away part of their spray irrigation where they've taken care of their leachate. And really the main reason is they put some limitations on their PFCs and PFASs, which is basically plastic waste. I think we've all heard about some of the things in the environment with some industries that have paid some major fines for contaminating groundwater. So we don't feel we have a problem treating this water right now. We've taken some leachate. We take leachate every year from Watonwan County landfill out of St. James, but it amounts to 3 or 4 tankers every fall. With this contract, we don't see really any primary issues within our permit right now. As far as organic and inorganic, none of the constituents look like they'd create a problem. Sure, 8,000 gallons a day seems like maybe a lot, or 5,000 gallons annually seems like a lot, but we treat roughly 3 million gallons a day. So if we take 8,000 to 10,000 gallons a day, that's about 0.2, 0.3% of our total flow. The contract, obviously, in our situation is null and voided as soon as we see any issues with our treatment. And we are going to charge a nickel per gallon of this leachate wastewater, which would create about $25,000 revenue for our budget. So, as a supervisor with the research we've done, we don't feel there is an issue, but if anything should come up, obviously, we have the right to discontinue this contract. And I think working with Lane Sleda at the county, they're still trying to work things out with their permit. They haven't received this new permit through the MPCA as far as their spray irrigation, so they're looking at some different things they can do on site, because the $25,000 they give us a year to treat the leachate is gonna be their least expense. They're gonna have a bigger expense trunking it from the Brown County landfill to town for us to treat. So they're looking at different storage containers, and I think long-term, I would hope if they have to continue or not continue to spray irrigate all the leachate produced, they will try to figure something out on site to treat it and spray irrigate it seasonally. So. Is there any
Dan, from our
questions?
perspective, what's the additional cost on our end? Obviously, we have all the equipment, we have all the systems.
Well,
Is there
in
incremental cost?
In our case, it's hydraulic. You know, when we're talking about wastewater treatment, we're trying to treat the solids, the organic matter, the BOD, the TSS, the phosphorus from our bigger industries in town. Basically, this is going to look like a pretty clean water. Not a lot of solids. There's some dissolved solids, and then, like I said, the concerns are more these plastic constitutes that come through. Looking at ammonias and nitrates and sodiums and arsenics and things that show up in our biosolids permit, most of them are non-detectable. So really, as far as treating, it's just going to be hydraulically, and we're designed to treat about 6.7 million, and we're treating about 2.5, 3 on average. So initially, within the contract, we don't want to take any more than 8,000 gallons every other day. And then in the spring, when it's wetter weather and they're producing more leachate, we'll take up to 8,000 gallons a day within this contract. So as far as treating the constitutes, the pollutants in the water, sadly, most of them are just going to pass through and end up in the Minnesota River here instead of the Cottonwood River by the Brown County landfill. I mean, there'll be some removal, but most of these things aren't removed with the mechanical wastewater plant.
Okay, so cost is minimal
Very
from our
minimal,
standpoint?
very minimal. It will be pumped at 20th Street. It'll go into our pre-treatment. It'll be pumped, but we're talking pennies a day as far as extra 8,000 gallons compared to the 3 million that we already pump.
Okay, thank you.
And what I think you were saying is, to the extent that this could create a problem with permitting, we can get out of the.
Yes, and right now, anything on there, even the chloride, salty discharge, that is sort of a hot topic, isn't a concern for New Ulm right now because we feed a bigger stream, the Minnesota River, and we have a 7Q10 that expands our limits quite a bit more than the typical wastewater plant.
Okay, any other questions?
I'll offer the motion to authorize the PUC president to accept and sign the leachate storage and disposal agreement between the Brown County landfill and the PUC wastewater department.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to authorize the PUC president to accept and sign the leachate storage and disposal agreement between Brown County landfill and the PUC wastewater department, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thanks for your time.
Next is a proposal to consider some IT products, and I don't see Mr. Barron here.
I can present for Nate if you like. This would actually be an upgrade for our Laserfiche archiving software, and part of it is to get it more automated. One of the big goals is to get electronic documents, so they fill it out online, which would directly populate the database. I know the finance department is planning on using this extensively along with the utility with applications and some of that kind of thing, so we don't have to have staff manually enter it after somebody's given us a paper copy of it. And I think Nicole may have some more examples of exactly how her department's plan on using this.
One of the examples that Nate and I talked about were dog licenses. So right now, someone comes in to get a dog license, they fill out the paper form, they give it to us, and then we sit there and we type it all in, and then we give them their license and print everything out for them. Where if we had the forms online, where Laserfiche could help us with, they could fill it out online, it would populate everything we need, we wouldn't have to do that re-entering of everything, and then we could just do the, give them the license when they come in. So that's one of the examples. The other, on one, of course, would be for utility billing. With new customers, we would be able to offer more online services rather than having every new customer or customer moving out come in to fill out paperwork. They could do it online.
Okay.
Do you see any cost savings from time of people, like
Yes.
overtime cost savings, that kind of stuff?
It would give them, open up more time to do other things and manage some of the other things that they do on a daily basis better. It would eliminate duplicate work, the possibility for error in different areas, and it could combine so many different tasks into that one thing by creating that workflow. It would just save a lot of time.
Yeah, you're finding this, obviously this technology is found in all kinds of areas. We, currently use job opening applications. Those are all done electronically. We don't have paper no more. It's just not worth having it. And it's easier to have it done electronically. This is just one of those upgrades in technology that applies in this particular area. But we've been, I guess we've been heading in that direction for the last probably 5 or 6 years, getting rid of paper, going to electronic, and this is just another step in that process.
Okay. I'll offer the motion to purchase the 40-hour concierge care package from OPG 3 for $6,400.
I'll second.
Any additional discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to purchase 40-hour concierge care package from OPG 3 for $6,400, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item is to consider declaring surplus property.
And this unit is the 2001 Chevy Impala four-door sedan, which the PUC has had since 2001. It has 93,000 miles on it. We've just replaced it with a 2018 Ford Fusion hybrid sedan, and this will, upon declaring it surplus, it'll go through the process of getting rid of the vehicle. Historically, we offer it to any other PUC department that might be interested in, which nobody will be. Then it's offered to the city departments if they have a need. Park and Rec sometimes takes advantage of these vehicles because of their summer help, where they got to shuffle people around mowing grass here and there. But ultimately, they do get pushed out of the system, and they'll go to one of our outlets where we auction them off, and that's done electronically, also. I don't remember, Gov Deals auction website where we go with some of our stuff, and so eventually it'll leave the PUC and the city at some point in time. It has a value of roughly $750, so minimal.
I'll make the motion declaring PUC Administration Department Unit Number 66 as surplus property and authorize disposition pursuant to the requirements of the city code and charter.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to declare PUC Administration Department Unit Number 66 as surplus property and authorize disposition pursuant to the requirements of the city code and charter, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And the final item on the agenda is to consider list of claims.
I'll offer the motion to accept the list of claims paid in the amount of $2,817,141.25 and approve the list of claims to be paid in the amount of $471,902.89.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? On the motion and second to accept the list of claims paid in the amount of $2,817,141.25 and to approve the list of claims to be paid in the amount of $471,902.89. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And unless the commissioners have any other comments, we are adjourned.